Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of the Little House Knits podcast. My name is Michelle, also known as ScullyB on Ravelry. I am also McTuck76 on Instagram. So please check me out either place. If you are interested, we have a Ravelry group. Feel free to stop in and say hello. Happy New Year. Hopefully your New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and every day since has been going well. Ours is going just nicely. We've still avoided any holiday sickness, so I am very excited about that. New Year's Eve was kind of low-key. If you remember, I'm pretty sure in the last episode, my mom came right in the middle of recording and watched the boys for a little while so we could go out and catch dinner and a show and then come home and hang out with the kids for the rest of the night, who were very excited to stay up until midnight and watch the ball drop because, you know, when bedtime is, between 8 and 9 o'clock, midnight is a huge deal. So that was that. But New Year's means new goals, resolutions, to-do lists, however you like to phrase it. I know last time I had mentioned that I made this big knitting goal to-do list, and then I lost it before I recorded, so I couldn't really tell you what was on it. Of course, when I finished recording, went over to the computer, I found it sitting there where it shouldn't have been. But I looked it over and I'm not entirely happy with it. So I'm kind of going to go over it again. I've come up with a very unoriginal solution to conquer the goal I think every one of us has, knitter-wise at least, at the beginning of every year, which is, I'm going to use a stash. I'm going to knit through as much stash as I can and pare things down, and that's always my goal. Tiny house, not a lot of storage space, gotta find some place to keep all the yarn. So I'm gonna mention that in just a little bit. On that note, this is the 57th time I've recorded this episode. I recorded it actually a couple of days ago, but technical difficulties, and I spoke incorrectly about a couple of things that I wanted to mention, so I figured I'd just fix it. However, I did ask for a volunteer to help me with the podcast. So because I cannot deny them their 15 minutes of fame or 15 seconds of fame, I'm going to cut in that last part. So we will have a guest appearance later in the show. And today I kept trying to record this and the phone was ringing, then the cat knocked over the camera. Then my husband showed up, not realizing that I was not talking on the phone, I was talking to the camera, so it was just thing after thing. So I have a few minutes, and I'm spending it with you. Let's see. So I have goals. Obviously, I want to knit down some of the stash. I've been sitting, it feels like, for the past 4 months. Probably hasn't been 4 months, but it feels like 4 months with all the knitting I was doing and then working overnight and just feeling kind of lazy from that. So one of my goals is to just move around. I don't care what I'm doing. I'll walk, jog, not really a runner, dance around with the kids, whatever, something. So that's my big thing, knitting down my stash, moving around, reading. I love to read. I love books. I listen to tons of audiobooks, which is great, but I haven't really sat down and read a book in a really long time, so I've decided that that's what I want to do. I want to accomplish that. I read really slow, but I do love to read, so we'll see. I had heard some people at work talking, and I saw some people on Instagram also talking or mentioning, showing these books, so I decided to go with the Outlander series. I haven't gotten super far, but it's a start. So I've heard good things about it, so let's see. On that, the only thing I can think of that's on my list that I have to revamp is spinning. I had showed you a while back that my husband got me a spindle, so I would like to work on that. I have to call the fiber store that's a little ways from here. They have classes, but they haven't updated them online yet, so I don't know when their next one is. But that's on my to-do list. My good friend Deb was kind enough to share some of her fiber with me to help me get started because I know last time or a few times ago I had shown you some poonies that I bought and mentioned at the same time, while they are beautiful and I would love to see what I could make out of them, I was terrified to start with those because they were so nice. So Deb is a spinner and she had mentioned that the poonies really weren't the best place to start. She had some extra fiber that weren't really in colors that she was a big fan of, but turned out to be wonderful colors for me, so that's great. So she was nice enough to send that my way. So I'm thankful for the fiber, which I'm going to show you a little bit in a second, but the cat would like to thank you because the box has kept her busy for hours at a time. So my cat has a thing for cardboard. She likes to eat it. I'm pretty sure that's not good for anybody's system, but so I'm just going to show you a couple things. The first one is Hiawassee Creek Dye Works, and I have Crinkle. Look at those colors. I opened, it's in a bag. I opened the bag up and Cole walked by and he goes, knit me something with that. Like, excuse me? I said, I can't knit anything with it. Why not? I said, it's not yarn yet. We have to make it into yarn. And I think he thought, when I said we, I don't know why I said we, but I said we, and he was like, I don't want to do that. Not going to force you to spin. Don't worry. But no. So this has been claimed already. Those are his colors. It's funny. He's a very quiet and shy kid, but he loves loud, crazy bright colors. Go figure. The other thing I wanted to show you is just beautiful. This is Highland Handmaid's Pitch Pine Top in the Bushel colorway. And it is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And this may sound silly, but the colors make me think of the strawberry shortcake doll I had when I was a kid. Don't know why, but I love it. So, but I'm looking at it and it's just, I don't want to wreck it. It's so pretty. So, thank you so much. Again, and this is great. And we'll see what I can do. Hopefully in the not too distant future. So that's goals. Now let's move on to what's been done. I only have a few finished objects. Last time I talked to you, I was working on a small Christmas stocking for just an idea I was toying around with in my head. But so this is the stocking. This is just some, I want to say Karen Simply Soft. It's just some acrylic I had laying around. So the knitting part is done. I really didn't feel like weaving in the end, so they're all tucked inside. But yeah, I was kind of just going for roughly, I was using like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper as my guide for how big and wide I wanted it. So knit up well. Eventually I'll finish it and weave in the ends and put the little hanger on it. But then I was toying around with working on my sock yarn blanket, which is coming along slowly but surely. And I didn't really feel like knitting a square. I wanted to do something different, but I still wanted to play with my sock yarn. So what I decided to do was knit up, come on, there we go, little teeny preemie hat. So my aunt actually works as a, I don't know if she's specifically a NICU nurse, but she works with struggling babies and preemies and things like that. So I may, I definitely want to knit up some more of these and may donate them or send them to work with her. So, but it's cute for a Henley weenie baby, little candy corn. It's cute. This is the Knit Picks Felici in the spooky colorway. And lastly, as you may know, I do participate in the Harry Potter House Cup, and the classes start up in January. So one of the class prompts was to knit something that helps you achieve your goals. So one of my goals was to move around more. So starting on January 1st, I decided, it's cold, but it's not snowy because we really didn't have much snow yet. I decided I was just going to go for a walk, and which was great. And Seamus went with me, and he's so funny. He's like, this is a great time for us to talk together. This should be our special time. And I was like, great, kill two birds with one stone. But after about 10 minutes, my cheeks were just on fire. My cheeks and my chin on fire because it was so cold out. So what I did was I took some Cascade 128 Superwash that I had lying around and knit myself up a cowl, I guess, face warming cowl. I would put it on, but I have to go to work later, and every time I put this over my head, my hair goes all staticky. So in an effort to keep that at a minimum, I'm just going to show it to you like this. But it does work very well. And I was going to do the whole thing ribbing, but I kind of liked how having the ribbing here to stretch and then sort of just having this wider, bulkier part to kind of stay around my neck better. So it's working, and I'm warm, pretty much. So, but I'm not knitting myself a pair of long johns. I'll just go buy those. But anyway, so that's that. I don't really have anything on the needles right now. I have a pair of socks I started for Seamus a while back, but because I was convinced I was just going to crank those socks out like it was nobody's business, I didn't write anything down, so I forget what I cast on. His feet have probably grown because he's in the middle of a growth spurt right now. So I think I might rip those out. And to be honest, I was kind of playing yarn chicken with them. For some reason, I only bought one skein of the yarn for it, and it's not looking too safe. So I either have to find another color to kind of cut into it, or I have to just try something else. So we'll see. But anyway, that brings me to my stash down sort of goal. So what I have done, and I know this is not original, tons of people have done this. What I did, instead of just taking 12 skeins of my sock yarn, putting them into bags and just kind of saying this one today, I put all my sock yarn into brown paper lunch bags. Some of them I wrote notes on because some of them I already knew what I wanted them to be. And then other ones I just left blank, or I wrote myself suggestions. And all together, there are 26 bags, which seems like a lot to me, but I know, trust me, I know there are people out there with huge, way more huge stashes than that. So what I decided, I put all the bags on the bed and I took a picture of them, and I was like, oh, it's like a sock yarn surprise. So that's what I have decided to call this. What my plan was that every month, at least once a month, I'm going to draw a number from the bag and pick, whatever number it is. And, oh my goodness, I'm totally losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself in my head. Pick a number, knit that project. If I finish it, can't think of something else, I will cast on another project. I'll draw another number from the bag. But what I wanted to do was throw an invitation out to you. If you think this is something that will help you to stash down, if that's one of your goals, what I would like to do is open 2 threads. One will be a picture of your whole brown paper bag army. That's what it looks like. So all of your stash in their bags, and that way I know who's participating, and so people can't just jump in and say, oh, I put this in a bag. And not that I think you would do that, but for organization's sake, this way I'll know who's participating. Then the second thread I wanted to open will be for January, and I realize this is sort of late in terms of getting anything started, but I know there are some of you out there that can crank out a pair of socks in like 20 minutes. So, so what I want to do is have a thread for every month, but we'll start with January, obviously, because it's January. And what you post in your thread is you post a picture of your bag with whatever you took out of the bag. So, and then just post that in your thread, and then when you finally finish your object, just post your finished object in the same thread, in the same post underneath your starting picture. So we have a start and finish. And I will have prizes. I'm kind of just trying to figure out what I want to do for a prize for January. So hopefully next week when I record, I will have a definite prize to show you. So that being said, my assistant in the original recording of this was drawing our number. So I am going, oh no, I'm not going to leave yet. Wait, we have an anniversary coming up. The podiversary is coming up. Do you want to do anything? I'm not sure what to do. How do you celebrate that? I know how to celebrate birthdays. I know how to celebrate anniversaries. Podiversaries, I'm not so sure. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to cut to our drawing here, and it would be great if you wanted to participate. If it's something you're not interested, that's cool too. But yeah, so I will see you next week, and now on to the drawing. So I'm going to have my special guest come in and draw a number. So this will be January's number, so if you would like to participate, join in. It would be great just for that kind of push of like, we can get this done. So yeah, so wait, I don't know if you can hear the feet. Are you ready, sir? Mm-hmm. All right, don't hit the camera, okay? Mm-hmm. Careful. All right. Say hello.
Hello.
All right, so we have our bag. Here, sit on my lap. All right, take a number. Oh, is the cat gonna sit on our lap too?
A random one?
Yeah, it's random. You're sticking your hand in the bag. Make sure you just got one.
That one?
Yep.
Okay. Number.
Leave it to you. Show the camera. And he picks number 1. So number 1 will be this month's bag. All right, let me lean down here. Because I have the bags in a drawer under my bed. This is bag number 1. So I will open my bag for you now. If this is something for you, though, you can't look.
What's that mean?
No. Ooh. Yeah.
What?
I just looked at my note on the bag, and it says, socks for me. So what I have in my number 1 bag is some of the Knit Picks Felici in the spooky colorway. Because I liked my mom's socks so much, I decided to get some to knit for myself. So that's it. Let's get started. So that wraps it up for me. And for Cole, would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone.
Don't hit the camera. All right, so that wraps it up for me. Thank you so much for stopping by the little house today. I will talk to you next week, and hopefully I'll hear from you in the threads. So in the meantime, have a great week and happy knitting. Bye.